would say it's Moon Day, but that was like 6 days ago. I apologize again for my video being so late, but I had to come back to school for job training. I didn't have anywhere to live. It was just a mess. But now I'm here, and I've seen the episode, and now it's time to talk. What better way to start an episode than Styles all straddle on Derek, slapping him, trying to get him to wake up, maybe trying to test the waters and see what they can try in the future when the situation's not so dire. But right now it's all business. You have to get Derek up so y'all can move out, so y'all can mobilize and do whatever it is that y'all about to do. I think it's so cute how Chris is just so concerned about Melissa. He has to save her because you know how Scott means so much to Allison, so that means Melissa and Allison must have a decent relationship, so he just wants to save her. I don't know, that's just what it's doing in my head, and I need it because I need him to save her so she can be with the sheriff, and then like Chris Argent can officiate the wedding or something, because you know he's probably like ordained to do these things. I don't think like hunters can go to church and get married. I don't think that's allowed. So I'm just assuming in my head again that all hunters are like ordained ministers so they can marry people. Cool, right? This sheriff developed a drinking problem after his wife died. That's really sad, but it makes a lot of sense because, you know, like there was a scene, I think last season, where Styles and his dad got into it, and I think his dad had been drinking at the time, and like Styles gave him kind of a look, and you didn't really understand why he gave him the look, but now you understand why he gave him the look, because Papa has a drinking problem. It's not funny, but I just like putting things together. I enjoy that. Isaac finally gets to come at Derek after the last time they actually showed them having a pretty decent one-on-one was when Derek was throwing stuff at him and trying to get him to leave. So now Isaac gets to come back at him and tell him just how much he fucking up. He's like, nobody's here for your pity party. This is all your fault. You need to fix it. Fix it now. And he's probably pressed because his boyfriend has come up missing, gone over to the dark side, and he wants him back. And Isaac is not playing around with you today, Derek Hale. You get yourself together. It just reminded me of those lines when she's like, "Don't sass me, young lady." I'm sorry, I'm all over the place today. I love how Chris Argent had to tell them the difference between him and the other two parents was that he had a big ass gun. I mean, the sheriff had a gun too, but he doesn't have the license to just shoot people willy-nilly like Chris Argent does. He does whatever he wants, and the sheriff is bound by rules and things. Melissa just has that baseball bat that doesn't exist anymore because Styles broke it. So now she's defenseless, the sheriff is defenseless, Chris Argent has a big gun, but still, despite his big gun, he got anyways because he sacrificed himself, and then he thought he was going to get slick and have all these weapons stashed in his body, and Miss Blake was not having that at all. She got all of his tricks, and now he is stuck in that hole, and now they have to save them. Best of luck, because I need all three parents to survive this, even though I have a sinking feeling that Chris Argent might die, which would probably propel Allison into lunacy, because we all know sister can't handle stress. Need I remind you of when she tried to thread that needle? PTSD like a motherfucker. I also love the look on Styles' face when he's watching Allison and Chris suit up, because they have like racks on racks of weapons, and he's just kind of like, I got my brain. Maybe y'all could toss a knife or something over this way. I broke my baseball bat. But no, he just has to watch. That's not what the Stalinskys do. They use brain. The Argents use muscles. I can't be the only one that thinks Peter is being real shady trying to get Derek to give up all his alpha juice to save Cora. Because Peter wanted to be alpha before. I mean, he was alpha before. So, like, now that Derek's not alpha, does that mean he becomes alpha again? Or does Cora become alpha? I don't really know what goes on with that, like how that's going to pass now. But it just seems like Peter has a ulterior motive, because he's like, ooh, you might do it, but you might not want to. Like, he's saying do it, but don't do it. And then at the same time, it's like, what does he really want? Is he trying to be slick or something? Like, you know, you can't trust him because he's always up to his own agenda. He always has something planned. So it's hard to know where he's coming from. Like, is he coming from Uncle Peter, who loves them, or is he coming from self-serving sass master? You never really can tell with him. I really love that we got to see Lydia and her mother interact with each other because you only very rarely get to see Miss Martin, and now here she is, like trying to help Lydia through the aftermath of her almost getting strangled. I love that it's also revealed that the mom used to have her own little sex voids, and that's why Lydia is so comfortable with herself and being a beautiful lady who gets it in whenever she wants to and doesn't feel bad about it. But the best part about that scene was when she was like, "Do you want to put makeup on over the the mark?" And she was like, "No, I'm a survivor. This is to show that I survived. That somebody tried to attack me and I made it through." And that just made me just like, because Lydia is fabulous, and even though she's a banshee, so she's not just a normal human, she still is like has human limitations, but still is so strong that she's a smart bitch, and she's like, "Listen, I'm a strong bitch too. Everybody look at this, but make sure you do my hair anyway." That was fabulous. Well, I certainly recognize the signs of that panic attack, which was beautifully executed because some people can't play that off at all. It makes me wonder if he actually has them in real life or if he's just really good at studying that type of thing, because that was everything. But it was also like the cinematography, because you had to get the right camera angles and everything to go with that. And it was beautiful. I loved it. I love that argent means silver because that means Chris is the hot silver daddy. I was ugly crying the whole time they were talking about Claudia Stilinski because she's the mom, and then the dad wasn't there, and Styles had to be with her when she died, and he had to just deal with that on his own because Stilinski was just out and about doing something, and it was just too much for me. That's just No, really, it was real sad though. Scott's FBI daddy could bang though. But I didn't realize that he was half Spanish and half white, though. Interesting. Lydia, girl, you have been drawing that root cellar this whole time and nobody knew. Come on now. Come on. Luckily, Styles is there to figure everything out all the time. And with that Chantal bitch who was in there for therapy. Whatever. She's unimportant right now, even though she's fabulous. What's important is that they know where their parents are now, and now they have to go save them. Save them! Final thought. The Argent family is perfect. I don't understand how Allison and Isaac are tethered to each other enough where he can pull her in and out of death. I understand puppy crush, but like, that's a whole lot. Chris Argent better not die. Ooh, Peter's laying down the law. Melissa looks like she gonna slap the shit out of Miss Blake though. That's a catfight I would love to see. So Derek has to lose his spark to save his sister. I don't know if it's worth it because Cora still sucks. They actually mentioned Sister Soldier. Miss Morrell better not die because then we'll just have Deaton left as the last black person, and I don't even think they all the way black, and I just need this to not be a thing because then all the color on this show is gone. Unless you count Danny, who's Hawaiian, but ice bath. So I think that's it. I will try next week not to be so late, so tardy to the party, but I can't make any promises. Life gets busy when school starts. Okay, bye.